motherfucking bag. Stand out the way, I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I get the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I...
Let's get it, man. What's good with y'all, boys? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store. And most importantly, man, we're doing a mic check to start off. I got a little microphone set up via the wife. Shout out to Miss Henny. So we gonna see how this thing working right now. If the sound is decent, we gonna keep pressing on. And we gonna talk Dallas Cowboys, man. He said it's still low. I understand why. Gotta be some shit going on. Let me see something. Let me see something real quick. Audio output. That don't even make sense. I did a routine before. Like I had did a sound check before I jumped on here. I was sure it was gonna work out. Lil Monk said it sounds better. So let me see. Let me turn down the music slightly. And let's see what's going on. He said just a little low. Now it's better. Okay, well, L. We just gonna have to adjust some stuff around right now, man. I'm gonna talk loud and it's a lot better. He said sound clear. Okay, still a little low, but sound clear. Well, that's fine. We'll just talk up a little bit, man, and we'll make it work. But salute to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to all y'all out there. And we do got a lot to cover in regards to the Dallas Cowboys, man. So, hey, we seen the stuff that was said by Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner did an interview. And it shed some light on some things, man. It cleared up a rumor about Dan Quinn. And, hey, it is what it is. Hey, El Professor, what's up with you, man? Good to see you, my brother. Yeah, man, it's been a long, hard road to recovery, but I'm back. I'm fully healthy. And, we ready to talk Dallas Cowboys content, man. So salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you for pulling up on me. Been way too long, man. Matter of fact, shout out to everybody in the chat box right now, man. My boy Texas D903 in the building. My brother Justin Kitchen in the building. Lil Monkster 5254 in the building. Bruce got the toxic juice. My boy say he loving the intro. I appreciate it, man. We try to add a little flavor in the liquor store, man. We try to add a little flavor in the liquor store. I appreciate that. Big Ben and Rich in the building, man. What's up with you? Desmond Ironman said we going 13-4. I feel it. Daniel Barrera Sports Highlights in the building, man. What's up with you? Salute to you. Who else in the building with us, man? My boy Justin Kitchen. I see the 6 trophies in there. Okay, okay. We rocking, man. We rocking. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, man, and dive into the content, talk about schedule predictions and look at every individual opponent. Y'all know the usual rules and regulations when y'all tap in with your independent content creators, man. First and foremost, I need y'all to hit that like button. The more likes that we get on the platform, the more that the algorithm will push the videos and get the content out to more people. So if you got love for your boy, you want to see the liquor store grow, you want us to continue to do all these great things that we trying to do, hit that like button, man. I can't even put into words, how important that is to help out your independent content creators, man. Also, once you hit that like button, I need you to spin the block and hit that share button, man. Because first and foremost, sharing is caring. Your mama that told you that, your granny, your auntie, somebody in your family that told you that sharing was caring. Hey, real quick, shout out to my boy El Professor for the $30 super chat, man. I appreciate you for the love and support. He said some cash for the liquor tab. I appreciate that. And everybody that sends $5. I know I got sick during the previous raffle, so I brought it back. We'll continue that same raffle. Every time you send $5, you will be entered for opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey. So El Professor just got 6 raffle entries to win the Dallas Cowboy jersey of the winner's choice. And if you want an opportunity as well, all you got to do is hit the Cash App or the Super Chats, and you will get an opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey. So tap in with your boys, support the raffle, support the liquor store, and I thank y'all all in advance. Now, after you hit that like and you hit that share, because remember, we do believe in manifestation. We're trying to manifest that sixth championship. So it's important that you share the content 6 times. After you do all that, I need y'all to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man. I need y'all to slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. And if you're able to find one, because listen, they were in hiding. I guess they were hibernating. They flew off, to Canada or something during the off season. I couldn't really find them. I couldn't really find them. They talking crazy again. They all out here in these streets talking crazy and eating shit. So if you could find you an Eagles fan and slap the shit out their mouth, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Calvaritas, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Henny the More, and come get drunk in the liquor store. And with all that said and done, man, let's start. Let's go ahead and dive head first to the content, man. Now, I made a video and reacted to what Bobby Wagner said, but I'm just going to play you the actual video. Now, they might copyright it later, and I'll have to take it out. So it is what it is, but I'll play it right now for you. It's going to be Bobby Wagner. This is actually a part of his interview with what's the name of this place? FanDuel. It's actually FanDuel. So he did an interview with FanDuel. He talked about Dan Quinn and their past relationship, and he also dropped a nugget of knowledge. Dan Quinn did try to get him to Dallas, and the Dallas Cowboys front office said no. The Dallas Cowboys front office was either protecting Leighton Vander Esch or they were just too cheap to pay for an all-pro linebacker. But either way, Dan Quinn really, really wanted to have Bobby Wagner in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, and somehow Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones jacked it up. But let me go ahead and share the screen so I can show y'all this, man, because it's going to piss me off talking about it. I might as well piss y'all off with me. So here it goes. So let me share my Twitter, because that's where I'm gonna watch it from.
What is it about his coaching?
Spread that. And here we go.
And you're back with Dan Quinn. He's your DC in Seattle. 2013, y'all won a Super Bowl together. Why the Commanders? How big of going there was him? And what is it about his coaching, his leadership that makes you want to play with him again?
I think the biggest thing for me is I've always been on the West Coast. So coming to the East Coast, you want to come and kind of have and be around, some familiar faces. And so, obviously I had a ton of respect from him for afar. We actually tried to make it happen a couple times. It just didn't work out structurally from a contract perspective, but we finally got it right. I think, him as a person, him as a leader has always been amazing. I think a big thing too was being able to be coached by Coach Norton again. He's like my favorite coach of all time. And so being able to be back in the room with him again is great too.
So DQ did try to get you to go to the Cowboys.
This is correct.
Why? And it didn't work out. Why?
It didn't work out. You got to ask the Cowboys there.
Ain't that some shit? Like, that is some shit right there for y'all, man. But, hey, that was all-pro linebacker, future Hall of Famer, should have been a Dallas Cowboy, Bobby Wagner. And he said, Dan Quinn, they try to make it work in Dallas. And you see the key word that he said and why it didn't work. Like, disregard the last part when he said you got to ask the Dallas Cowboys. He actually told you when he was answering the question. He said contractually wise, they could not come to an agreement. So it was about the money. It was about the money. It was not about Bobby Wagner not wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy. It was not about Dan Quinn not liking linebackers. It was not about anything other than the fact the Dallas Cowboys did not want to give Bobby Wagner a fair contract. And when you actually go and look at what Bobby Wagner has been playing for. Bobby Wagner ain't been playing for no whole bunch of money. Let me go up and pull Bobby Wagner's contract. And I know I'm supposed to be talking about the schedule release, but this just bothered me so much that I had to speak on this before we got too far ahead of ourselves, man. So I'm finna go ahead and pull up Bobby Wagner's contracts, right? What he's done cost against the cap recently. So let me show y'all. So this is just for 2024. Let me go to his history. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to share the screen. He said, Stephen Jones is cheap. I'm not shocked. You should not be shocked. But at the same time, man, like, damn. Can we get somebody? You know, when the pretty girl actually likes you back, you should talk to them. You know, if the pretty girl actually wants you, that's when you make your move. Bobby Wagner in this instance is the pretty girl, right? Bobby Wagner in this instance is the pretty girl, and he chose up on the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys acted like they were too good to talk to Bobby Wagner, like Leighton Vander Esch, who, you know, he had a good season before. You know, I'm not gonna talk bad about it. He retired, he was injured, but we ain't finna sit here and act like Bobby Wagner has not been a better player than Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch ain't never been a better player than Bobby Wagner. So if you did not sign Bobby Wagner just so you could play Leighton Vander Esch, who could stay healthy, by the way, you know, I just get frustrated with this team for doing some. Half this shit don't even be football related, man. Some of this shit just go back to common sense. Like, sometimes I feel like they are so successful in the way that they market, in the way that they do business, and as profitable as they are, they sometimes feel like they lack common sense sometimes, man. They get away with so much stuff, doing it their way. Sometimes I feel they actually lack common sense of some of this stuff, man. Eastside Harold, the biggest Dallas Cowboys supporter and fan in the building. Thank you for being here religiously. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. I know deep down you want to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, but you know, you got jumped into that Texans gang. You got to, you know, die with it, blood in, blood out. I get it. But I am glad to see you here. Number one closeted Dallas Cowboys fan, Eastside Harold. What's up with you, boy? But hey, man, but I'm just trying to say this. They were getting all pro production from Bobby Wagner for not all pro money. Look at these cap hits the last couple of years for Bobby Wagner. His cap hit in 2022 when he left Seattle and signed a deal with the Los Angeles Rams was $2.5 million. You were getting all pro production. He made an all pro team in 2022. You got all pro production from Bobby Wagner from under $3 million. And the Dallas Cowboys did not jump on it. They did not jump on it. Under $3 million for an all pro linebacker. And they did not want to pay it. Right? You could have got him then. Right? Dan Quinn was here. You could have got him then. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys chose to give a contract to Leighton Vander Esch. All Bobby Wagner was playing for was $7 million. That's nowhere close to top linebacker money. That is nowhere close to what he's actually worth. You could have got all pro production from a linebacker the last 2 years combined for $10 million. What was so hard about signing Bobby Wagner? Because remember, $7 million plus $2.5 million is actually only $9.5 million. So let's say you wanted to sweeten the deal and give him a little bit extra. You could have signed Bobby Wagner for the last 2 years for $10 million. And had all pro production at an area on your team that you struggled with. You struggled at linebacker. You ran Leighton Vander Esch out there with his multitude of injuries. It did not work. You ran Damone Clark out there, who was a 5th round pick, and it did not work. He was not ready. You did not have no veteran linebackers on this team to show him how to be a professional. You drafted my boy DeMaurian Overshown, but he got hurt. Right? You cut other veteran linebackers that could have contributed. So why did you not go and sign Bobby Wagner when you had an opportunity to do so? And I ain't trying to be on a soapbox, man. This is not what we should be talking about. But every time the Dallas Cowboys do things to wet the bed, I gotta come back. I gotta talk about it. But shout out to Rhonda for coming through and showing love and support to the channel. Appreciate you. My brother, the Big Time Show in the building, man. Salute to you. Make sure we tap in. We got to get some content in together, man. My brother, Justin Kitchen, I see you. I already shouted out Eastside Herald. He already know that he's the biggest Dallas Cowboys supporter in the building, man. So shout out to him. But yeah, man. We just get frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys. Because one, we had the money to sign Bobby Wagner at the time. Right? We had the money to sign Bobby Wagner. We created cap space. We were under the cap. We could have signed Bobby Wagner for what he wanted. Two, you had a need there. And Bobby Wagner, even at his age right now, if you were to put Bobby Wagner on the Dallas Cowboys in 2024, he would still be your best linebacker. He is still better than Kendricks. He's still better than the Marvin Overshown, who was unproven. He's better than Damone Clark from what Damone Clark has put on tape. He's better than the rookie, right? Ain't no raw third-round pick rookie going to be better than a future Hall of Fame linebacker with experience. So that's why we're frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys, man. And it goes back to the Dak Prescott stuff. It goes back to the CeeDee Lamb stuff. It even goes partly to the Michael Parsons stuff. You could have been signed your star players, cleared cap space by getting those extensions done, and went out and signed better players to support your team and help your team out. But you didn't do it. For whatever reason, you didn't do it. And that's the shit I be talking about, man. That's the shit I be talking about. But anyway, man. Now that we done talked about our frustrations. Matter of fact, man, nah, we ain't finna jump off this that quick. In the chat box, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would Bobby Wagner have helped this team? On a scale of 1 to 10, in the chat box, 1 being he wouldn't have did nothing, 10 being a huge upgrade, a savior. How much better would this team be if we had Bobby Wagner? I want some class participation from my people, man. Go ahead and put it in the chat box. Scale of 1 to 10. How much better would Bobby Wagner have made this team? My boy Bruce in the building said a 10. My boy Trey in this building with a motherfucking me 8.5. My boy Justin Kitchen, is that 10 million? 100 million? It's a lot. You know, like we would have been a lot better with Bobby Wagner. Right? So, and that's the point. You had deficiencies in stopping the run. Bobby Wagner is still an elite run stopper. He still understands his gap assignments and where to be. He understands run support and leverage, right? Pursuit angles. He understands all of that. Right? He still excels there. My boy Brandon Hoke with a 10. Big Benny Rich with an 8. My brother the Big Time Show with a 10. Lil Monkster with a 9. Rhonda with an 11. Yeah, Bobby Wagner would have definitely been an upgrade over what you have right now. You probably are looking at your team in a different light if you had Bobby Wagner paired up with a Micah Parsons, paired up with a Deron Bland, paired up with a Trayvon Diggs, right? Paired up, man. Come on now. And I'm not taking anything away from Eric Kendricks. I think Eric Kendricks is also an upgrade over what we had. But I think that Bobby Wagner is better than Eric Kendricks at this point in their careers. But whatever, though, man. The Dallas Cowboys chose to go with Leighton Vander Esch. They chose to go with being frugal and not overly spending. So whatever. I can't sit here and cry over spilled milk. But it hurts, man. It hurts. When you really want your team to compete and there are great players that want to be here, man, come on now. And facts, nobody knew Dan Quinn's defense better than Bobby Wagner, who was part of the Legion of Doom, who won a Super Bowl with Dan Quinn, who went to another Super Bowl with Dan Quinn, who made numerous playoff. Man, come on now. Come on now. Let's stop it, man. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this schedule, man. Let's go ahead and talk about the schedule. Because if I sit here and get on a soapbox all day about the Dallas Cowboys and what they did not do, to improve this team, I cry, man. Yo, Big Country, what's up with you, man? It's good to be back, my brother. Salute to you. Appreciate you tapping in with me. King G, what's up with you, bro? You just missed the rant, man. You just missed the rant because I had to go in on the Dallas Cowboys about this Bobby Wagner news that we had to talk about, man. Rico Jones, what's up, man? Thank you for tapping in. I see the Six Flames. I see you helping us practice manifestation, man. Salute to you. So yeah, man. So Bobby Wagner wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. Dan Quinn wanted him here, and the Dallas Cowboys front office said no. Right? That's everything in a nutshell. He did an interview today. He talked about Dan Quinn tried to get him here in Dallas multiple times. The Dallas Cowboys shot it down every single time. So that's where we're at with this now. Keystone, what's up with you, man? So yes, Dallas Cowboys could have had Bobby Wagner, and if you're wondering how much Bobby Wagner made these last 2 years, he made under $10 million these last 2 years combined. His cap hit last year was $7 million. The year before that, it was 2.5. So theoretically, the Dallas Cowboys could have signed Bobby Wagner to a 2-year, $10 million deal and had his services. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. Anyway, though, man, let's go ahead and talk about the schedule. He said that's why Dan Quinn might have flipped us the middle finger on the way out, man. He might have flipped us the middle finger on the way out. You never know. I hope that wasn't the case, but hey, you never know, man. You never know. But I do think he was already looking forward to this other coaching gig. I feel like he already knew that he had that job wrapped up. I think he was getting everything prepared. So yeah, really only Dallas Cowboys, especially when it comes to acquiring talent. They always want to pay quality talent below market value for some reason. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, the Dallas Cowboys do stupid stuff like that, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the schedule, though, man. Let's see where we're at, what we're gonna do. How y'all feeling, though, man? How are y'all feeling about the schedule? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, because I actually changed my mind overnight. I slept on it. Because remember, when I was live, I said 12-5. Right? I said 12-5 when I was live yesterday. But I actually slept on it. I talked to landlord. I talked to West Coast. I was swayed a little bit. From only saying 12-5. And I actually brought numbers to support what the hell I'm gonna be talking about. I brought numbers to support what I'll be talking about. I am the numbers guy. So my boy Rico Jones said 11-6. I want y'all to drop y'all predictions in the chat box real quick. And then I'm gonna support my evidence on why I think we're gonna go what I say we're gonna go. Because I did have a drastic change of heart from those 12 wins. The Texas is gonna go 6-11. That Cinderella shit you're gonna turn right back to a pumpkin, my boy. Trey said 11-6. Rico said 11-6. King said I'm cool with the schedule. Tough games in the beginning, easier down the stretch. 12-5 again. Big Ben and Rich said 11-6. Okay. So that's cool. So let me tell you this. I actually got it higher than all of y'all. I actually got it higher than all y'all do. I actually got it higher than 10-7, but which my boy Keystone believes. I got it higher than 11-6, which my boy Big Benny Rich believes. I have it higher than 12-5, which I initially said. And here is why. So let's just go ahead and look at some certain numbers, right? So I can elaborate on why I feel so strongly about the Dallas Cowboys being able to exceed all of that, right? So let's start with the fact we're bringing back most of that 12-5 team that we're talking about, right? And this is actually from the guy over the cap. So he put these numbers together. So top 10 teams in percent of players from 2023 being on the offseason roster for 2024. So the Packers are bringing back 81.8% of their roster that they had. The Buccaneers are bringing back 79.5% of that roster that they had. The Colts are bringing back most of their roster. And then the Cowboys are bringing back 78.2% of a team that won 12 games last year, right? And this is the kicker. A lot of the players that we're not bringing back, y'all didn't like a lot of those players. Think about the players we're not bringing back. We're not bringing back Leighton Vander Esch because he retired. But Leighton Vander Esch had not been playing good football before he departed, right? So Leighton Vander Esch, he's a loss, but nobody was really comfortable with Leighton Vander Esch. You added Eric Kendricks. You're getting the Maureen Overshawn back. You drafted I can't pronounce the young boy name, Lafusa Tutu, how you say his name. But you on paper, you've gotten better at the linebacker position, and Leighton Vander Esch not there. So you actually slightly improved your linebacking core, right? You're getting Overshawn back. Leighton Vander Esch is out the door. He's no longer a liability. And you're getting Eric Kendricks, who's an upgrade over him, right? Hey, shout out to my boy. Hold on, let me take this down so I can read his super real quick, y'all. Y'all bear with me, man. Bear with your boy, man. Shout out to my boy Texas D905 with the $5 super chat. They got you a raffle entry, by the way, man. He said $2 scratch off and a raw comb, my boy. Hey, my boy put in his order for the liquor store, man. Salute to my boy, man. Salute, salute, salute. And yeah, everybody that hit that Cash App or hit that super chat, man, you will get a raffle entry for a Dallas Cowboy jersey. $5, every $5 you send is a raffle entry. So if you want to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, all you got to do is hit the Cash App or super chat, man. Tap in with your boy. Tap in. But yeah, man. So the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back a majority of the guys from last year. Leighton Vander Esch won't be back. Michael Gallup, who had not been playing good football. We all believe that Michael Gallup's snap should have went to Brandon Cooks and went to Jalen Tolbert and went to Kevontae Turpin. So not having Michael Gallup here eating up snaps, in theory, actually makes your wide receiving room better. It's going to be better. Sean McKeon is not going to be back. Sean McKeon is like the fourth or fifth damn tight end. Who cares, right? Tony Pollard, who was coming. And listen, I think Tony Pollard will be better this year with the Tennessee Titans because he's another year removed from injury. But nobody got what they wanted from Tony Pollard last year, right? Nobody got what they wanted from Tony Pollard. So what I'm saying to y'all is the Dallas Cowboys, they've lost some players, but they didn't lose a lot of players that were having positive contributions to the team. My boy James Jones. What's up, James? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. He said, yo, I'm a Washington fan. I still have y'all as the biggest threat of the NFC East. And hey, I do think y'all will be better this year too, though. I don't think that y'all will be an easy out. I have us beating y'all, but I think that y'all will be a much more competitive team this year, bro. Real talk. I'm very high on Jaden Daniels. Shout out to Rhonda for the $2 super chat. She said 13 or 4 or better. Here we go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get it. Salute to you. I appreciate that support. So yeah, so listen, you lost a couple of players, and really you lost Tyler Biadasz. Tyler Biadasz might have been the weakest link on this offensive line. I know some people will say Terrence Steele, but Terrence Steele was coming right off an injury. right? So he got a little bit more grace. Tyler Biadasz, you replaced him with a top 75 pick in Cooper Beebe. I know that you lost. I know that you lost the OG, the future Hall of Famer Tyron Smith, but you replaced him with a first round pick. So all I'm saying is the Dallas Cowboys are still going to field a very dominant team. You still have an all-pro quarterback that finished second in MVP voting last year. You still have an all-pro wide receiver who finished at the top of Offensive Player of the Year voting. You still have a tight end that was a Pro Bowler last year and is on a trajectory of being an all-pro. You still have an all-pro uh, left guard in Tyler Smith. You still have an all-pro right guard in terms of Zach Martin. You still have one of the best pass rushers in the league. You got two all-pro cornerbacks. Like the Dallas Cowboys are still loaded with talent, is what I'm trying to convey to y'all. Even with the unknowns and the uncertainties, this is not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They have warts. They have warts. They have things that concern me. But they're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. This is not a team that if they play their brand of football, it's gonna be an easy out for anybody. So let's start with that. Secondly, Dak Prescott is still your starting quarterback. And you say that like what they got to do anything, Henny? What they got to do with anything, Henny? Dak Prescott was balling last year against teams that had winning records. I know people like to act like Dak Prescott doesn't do this and doesn't do that and this other bull. Dak Prescott balled last year against teams with winning records. He threw for 2,536 yards in 9 games against winning teams. He had a completion percentage of 66.8. He had a yards per attempt of 7.4. He had 20 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions, 21 big-time throws, only 12 turnover-worthy plays, and guess what? His receivers dropped 14 balls. These numbers could have been better. He could have had more touchdowns. He could have had more production. So what I'm saying to you is, yes, you have a tough schedule, but you still are bringing back a majority of a team that won 12 games, and you probably got better by letting some of those guys walk. You're still going to bring out a quarterback who is probably going to have another MVP caliber season and who played very well against these good teams. We only talk about the 49ers. Dak Prescott balled every single game against the Eagles. He balled against the Miami Dolphins, even though we did not win. He balled against the Detroit Lions. He balled, man. Like, he beat the dog shit out the Rams. Like, Dak Prescott beat the Rams so bad, people forgot that the Rams were a playoff team. They forgot that the Rams went to the playoffs and had an all-pro running back and had an all-pro wide receiver and had a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They forgot about all that shit. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys beat the shit out them boys. So, yeah, it's like the Dallas Cowboys have talent, and they have Dak Prescott. And let's go back and look at the schedule. Like, we'll do a more in-depth breakdown the closer that we get to each team, right? So there's going to be a lot to remember about rankings and all this other stuff, right? It's going to be a lot to remember. So, are the Dallas Cowboys a better team than the Browns? Are the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to ask simple questions. Are the Dallas Cowboys a better team than the Browns? The answer is yes. We have a better quarterback. Our wide receiver number 1 is better. Right? The Dallas Cowboys are a better team. We have the better head coach. I know people don't ever give Mike McCarthy any love or respect. But we have a better team than the Browns do. Right? We have a better team than the Browns. We have a better team than the Saints. I'm not going to play like we have a better team than the Ravens. Right? We have a better team than the Giants. We have a better team than the damn Pittsburgh Steelers. it's close between us and Detroit, but Detroit defense is not that good, right? The reason that Detroit struggled the way that they did, at points in the season is because their passing defense was atrocious. They had one of the worst passing defenses in the National Football League last year, and they really didn't do much to fix it. They went and got Terry Arnold, who I think will eventually be good. He's a rookie, right? 49ers probably still have a better team than us, but we got a better team than the Ravens. We have a better team than the Washington Commanders. We have a better team than the Giants, of course. We have a better team, especially offensive line wise. We have a better team than the damn Bengals. I know people love the Bengals, but we done beat them boys with a backup quarterback. We have a better team than the Panthers. We have a better team than the damn Buccaneers. So like we're better. We're better than most of these teams. We're actually better than most of these teams. And then we're not too far in talent where it's not beyond the realm of possibility that we could beat the Eagles both times. It's not above the realm of possibility that we can beat, you know, the Texans. It's not above the realm of possibility that we might even be able to pull off the Ravens games as they're home, right? But those are all the only question marks. Like, Detroit ain't never beat Dak Prescott. We need to start calling Dak Prescott the Lion Killer. Dak Prescott is undefeated against Detroit. And before folks talk crazy, they played 5 times. 3 of the times that the Dak Prescott has played the Detroit Lions, they were an above 500 team. They were a playoff team in 2016. They were over 500 in 2022, and they were a playoff team last year. So 3 of the 5 times that Dak Prescott has beaten the Detroit Lions, they were a winning team and playoff caliber team. Matter of fact, had the Detroit Lions not lost to us in 2022, they would have made the playoffs. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And listen, styles always make fight. I'm not sitting here acting like any team is so beneath us that we don't have to worry about them. But there is a clear path to victory for damn near every game on this schedule. For damn near every game on this schedule, there's a clear path to victory for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, the Cleveland Browns have a good run game, but is Chubb going to play? Right? How much better is the Dallas Cowboys run defense? If Deshaun Watson still is playing at the same level he was, the Dallas Cowboys might blow the Browns out. Deshaun Watson has been awful. And the only saving grace for that team has been Nick Chubb and has been that defense. So listen, Deshaun Watson is still playing bad, and he's turning the football over. And they don't have Nick Chubb, or Nick Chubb is not 100%. It's hard for me to say the Dallas Cowboys won't win that game. It's very hard. Right? Washington Commanders have gotten better, but they haven't gotten that much better to the point where the Dallas Cowboys have to worry about them like that. I still feel like we're the better team. When you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, they had to rebuild their entire defense because their defense was so awful. And they got Kellen Moore as a damn play caller. They got Kellen Moore calling plays. The most pass-happy offensive coordinator I've ever seen will be calling plays for a running quarterback. Right? We ain't finna sit here and act like that shit is supposed to work. It don't sound like it's supposed to work, do it? So listen, man. These are the only losses that I can see for the Dallas Cowboys. Or I should put it like this. These are the only losses I would not be surprised about. If we lose to any of these other teams, I'd be surprised, right? I would not have seen that coming. But if we lose to the Ravens, I'm not surprised about that. If we go on the road and lose to the 49ers, I would not be surprised about that. If we split with the Eagles, I won't be surprised about that. Right? So those are the only 3 games I could see us losing. And then I have a 50-50 game with the Texans. I could, depending on how they're playing and how we're playing going into that, it is at home. So I have us at either 14-3 or 13-4, depending on how things shake out. Right? Depending on how things shake out. Because listen, at the end of the day, the only acceptable losses the Dallas Cowboys should take are to the Ravens, or to the Eagles, and to the 49ers. And it gotta be the game in Philly. Like late in the year, cold weather, bad weather outside in Philadelphia, right? I could see us, possibly not playing our best brand of football, right? Depending on how our run game is. He said, I'm not sold on the Texans' hype. They have a first place schedule this season. I like their talent. I'm not sure if they can replicate what they did last year, right? Because they do have a pretty solid division. They are in a division with the Colts. They are in a division. Who else in there? With the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are trying to shake back and be a better team this year. So they got some decent competition in their division. So we'll see how that shapes up. But I do like their talent. I like that they added Stephon Diggs. I like that they added Danielle Hunter, who was a great pass rusher last year. I like a lot of the moves that they made. Now we got to line it up because listen, you ain't gonna win no championship, on paper. Like we don't give out championships without games being played. That's not how we do things, right? But if we're projecting, the only reasonable losses I see: Baltimore Ravens, 49ers, Eagles at the crib. Because you asked me if I think we're going to lose to the Bengals with the Bengals offensive line, and knowing that, and knowing that they got some dysfunction going on with the T. Higgins stuff and all these different things, knowing that they just sent their primary running back to Houston, even though they got a nice young guy in Brown. Like, they got a lot of moving parts. They got a whole bunch of moving parts. What up? Hey, shout out to my boy Hoodlum in the building, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, my guy. Salute to you, my boy. Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. And hey, everybody that just now sliding in, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all slap the shit out of an Eagles fan while you have time to do so. And we appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I appreciate all y'all for rocking with your boy, man. Oh no, they're not unbeatable. There is never gonna, man. Listen, you'll never hear me. You'll never hear me say that we can't beat a team. Right? I think we have a fair shot against the Houston Texans. I need to have a fair shot against the Houston Texans. We'll have to play our best brand of football, right? Because I think they got a bunch of explosive players. I think they got a decent run game, and I think that D'Amico Ryans is gonna keep that defense on an upward trajectory, right, with the players that they added. So, like I said, on paper they got a good team, but I do want to listen. We all gotta wait and see what happens, right? We all gotta wait and see what happens. There might be some teams on this list that are better than we thought. There might be some teams on this list that are worse. Remember last year, we were concerned about the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got hurt the first game of the season, and we ended up playing Zach Wilson, right? So there are games that might change because injuries happen in the NFL. It's a very violent sport. We might play one of these teams without their primary running back. We might play one of these teams without their starting left tackle. We might play one of these teams without their starting quarterback, right? Their whole secondary might be hurt when we play them. So again, I'm not going to go in depth about how we beat these teams until it gets closer to time and we got the opportunity to look at numbers from last year and numbers from this current season and so on and so forth. So, I'm not giving us a loss to the Houston Texans. I said it's a 50-50 game. But, I say the Dallas Cowboys go 14-3 or 13-4. It just depends on what you think of the Texans. So, hey, in the case of Jay Bryant, he'll have us going 14-3 because he think we'll beat the Texans. In the case of somebody else, they might have us at 13-4. But I don't understand the doom and gloom and perception that the Dallas Cowboys will not be able to get to the playoffs or not be able to win the division or not be able to compete, because you still got a great team. Outside of injury, I don't see how this team does not, does not compete, does not make noise, does not win a majority of these games, y'all. And listen, there are no pushovers in the NFL. They're all professionals. But a lot of you guys are better than, man. Like you're straight up better than half these guys on here. You're straight up better than half these guys on here. Right? You play the Giants twice, you're better than them. That's two wins. You play the 49ers, not the 49ers. You play the Washington Commanders twice, you're better than them. That's 4 wins. You play the Carolina Panthers, you're better than them. That's 5. You're better than the Bucks. That's 6. You're better than the damn Falcons. That's 7. I expect for you to I expect for you to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're better than them. I expect for you to beat the damn Browns. You're better than them. Right? You're already at 9 damn wins. Right? For all the guys that you're just straight up better than. And then you'll probably split with the Eagles. You're at 10 wins right there. I can realistically see you beating the Texans. I can realistically see you beating the Detroit Lions. Like, come on, man. We don't need to act like we're finna play. We're not finna play like all decade teams, man. Like, every one of these teams has flaws. Some of these teams don't have good quarterbacks. Some of these teams don't have good defenses. Some of these teams, have glaring holes. So we should be fine, y'all. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna put 14-3 in the chat box. Henny's gonna tap in and say 14-3. I've been swayed by some numbers. I've been swayed by my Cowboy brethren. So yes, man, I'm coming all the way up from 12 wins to 14 of them hoes. Oh, Joe, yeah, I had the schedule up, Joe. I had the schedule up, talk about the schedule, but I'm back on the screen now, my brother. But I appreciate you for tapping in and showing love, my boy. So yeah, I got the Dallas Cowboys winning 14 games. And listen, I showed my work and how I got there. Right? I showed you numbers of all the players we're bringing back. I showed you how your quarterback performed against winning teams. Like, you should feel comfortable in that. And I want y'all to remember this. Dak Prescott is going to be in the second year in this offensive scheme. So theoretically, the guy who was just second in MVP voting should actually play better and be more comfortable in the scheme that we have. Right? I know that people forget that because of how well we played, after the 49ers game and everything. Right? I know we forget this was an entirely new system. Right? But that was a new system. This is year 2. Right? Most players progress and improve and get more comfortable the more time they spend in a certain offensive system and environment. Right? So I expect Dak Prescott to be better and to start quicker. I expect CeeDee Lamb to be better and to start quicker. Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Turpin, right? I even expect our red zone offense to be better because of the addition of Ezekiel Elliott, right? So those are things that I like. He says Michael Parsons might break the sack record with Zimmer blitzing scheme. I'm down for it, man. And listen, I'm not even super concerned about the sacks, right? Because I think he'll get them in 17 games against some of these players. He'll go up against. He'll get double-digit sacks. Like, I'm not even concerned about that. What I'm concerned about, bro, is will we be able to stop the run, right? Mike Zimmer, he likes big defensive ends. He likes blitzing his linebackers, bringing pressure. So, I believe his scheme will be more conducive to us being able to stop the run and being a more multifaceted defense. Because last year, man, the defense had one particular formula to winning, in my opinion. right? It's easy for me to sit here on the sideline and say that, but I feel there was really one particular formula for our defense to win. Offense had to get up early, get them out of situations where there was the possibility of the run, let the pass rushers pin their ears back, cause havoc, get sacks, get pressures, and force turnovers. Right? The defense was excellent when they did that, but when they had to grind it out, when you had to try and stop the run, and I also do believe that personnel packages played a big part of that. You had my guy Marquise Bell, who is a converted safety, right? You had my boy who's a converted safety playing linebacker. You super undersized, man. Super undersized out there. So I believe if he just matches personnel, if he plays a standard 4-3 against heavier packages and things along of that nature, we should be good, dog. Iceberg said, I said 13 wins. Dallas got the right defensive coach in Zimmer. I like Zimmer, man. I like a lot of the things I've heard from Zimmer so far, man. I do. I like a lot of the things that Zimmer been saying. It's not really even a lot of coach talk, man. So I think a lot of the people gassing the Mike Zimmer stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, like Mike Zimmer will be good for this team. I had my doubts at one point, but I think Mike Zimmer will be good for this team, y'all. So Q&A time though, man. I done did my rambling. I done talked about the Bobby Wagner situation. I told y'all how I felt about the schedule, why I felt the need to up my win total from 12 to 14. My boy said he liked the Al Harris promotion. I like the Al Harris promotion too. Matter of fact, while we're sitting here talking about that, let me show y'all something. Because Al Harris is going to be hands-on with Kalen Carson. And Kalen Carson just recently posted a workout video. Let's check it out. Hold on. Because I need to screen share this before I pull it up like that. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Bear with me while I get this up here. My boy said Dak Prescott will be in the top two in MVP race. He got a violent maniac at center. No more bullying up the middle. Man, listen, if the Dallas Cowboys give Dak Prescott any semblance of a run game, it's over. It's over. We saw what a lesser version of Dak Prescott did with a dominant run game. Like we were damn near unbeatable in Dak Prescott's rookie year. And we never really had that kind of run game again after that. But imagine if you can give Dak Prescott a semblance of a run game going into the 2024 season. Imagine if you can pencil the running backs in for 110 yards, right? And you don't have to have one singular running back do that. It could be two or three running backs. But imagine if the Dallas Cowboys are able to rush for over 100 yards without Dak Prescott's contributions, right? Because I don't like the games where we have 100 something yards rushing and Dak Prescott got 40 of it. Like those games, we never win those games. It's already too much for him to shoulder the burden of passing the ball around. I don't need him running for 40 and 50 damn yards too. Like you got to pick a struggle, Dallas Cowboys. But if you can give Dak Prescott 100 plus yards from his running back room every game, and he can get back to utilizing play action and having a real legit threat of the run and folks having to respect it, man. Like I just think I do so much for this offense, y'all. I just think I do so much for this offense. All right, but here we go, man. This is Kalen Carson's latest workout video, man. and it says Demon Deacon, so it looks like he was working out at Wake Forest. So he went back to his alma mater and was getting a workout in.
Drop. Good break. Open. Drop. Oh yeah. Kick. Drop. Nice. Kick. Open. Ball. There you go. Kick. Open. Break. Ball. Nice. Score. Good rep. Drop. There you go. Go. Good break. Open. Drop. Not bad. Kick. Drop. Better. There you go. Good kick. Kick. Open. Break. Ball. Make a play. Nice. Drop.
All right, y'all. So that was 5th round pick Kalen Carson and his most recent workout video. Went back to his alma mater. And yeah, he got pretty decent form, man. He got pretty decent form. So listen, man. And I really brought this up because y'all reminded me when y'all mentioned Al Harris, man. Like, Al Harris is doing more, but I want him to still be hands-on with these defensive backs, man. I still want Al Harris to be hands-on with the defensive backs, putting in work with them, helping them develop, helping them with their play recognition, helping them with their form, right? Like the work he's done with Trayvon Diggs, like it's been amazing. The work he's done with the Ron Bland has been amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like the return on investment for our corners has been immaculate with him out there, man. So I know that he has more duties. I know he has a bigger role, but I really want him to spend a lot of time with Eric Scott. I really want him to spend a lot of time with Carson. I want him to mold these guys. I want him to give them the best opportunity to develop into studs at the NFL level, man. Yeah, Carson is a hitter too. Yeah, he's a physical corner. He's not really a ball hawk, but I think that can change. I think that can change getting him with Al Harris, getting him in the program, him helping him with his hand placement and play recognition, right? So just things like that, I believe will help. I believe Al Harris will change a lot of these guys' lives, man. So that's why I know he got a promotion. I'm happy that he has that promotion, but I still want him to be extremely hands-on with these young cornerbacks, man. He said he can run and cover. He's not a bad player, man. I was honestly shocked though that we drafted another corner, not because I don't think that Carson's is good. It's just the fact, it's just the fact, man, that you just drafted Eric Scott, around a similar position last year. Wasn't Eric Scott a late 5th round pick or a 6th round pick? You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even let him play and develop and get reps last year. So that is the only thing that confused me about the Carson pick. But he has talent, man. He has talent. My boy Jacob said tight end John Stevens Jr. said it was a blessing realizing after he hurt his leg, he was able to focus in the gym on his upper body and his strength to bring a better blocking game. I like that. Oh yeah, Nashawn Wright is probably gone. Nashawn Wright is probably not going to survive this. I like Nashawn Wright. JJ the Mind, man. I ain't seen my boy in 50 years, man. What's up with you, man? But yeah, man. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, Nashawn Wright's gone. There might even be a possibility that our boy Izzy gone, man. I really like Izzy. I think Izzy has not gotten a fair shake after playing so well in the postseason. Like, he played well both postseason games in 2022. He did. So I'm not really sure why the man hasn't gotten an opportunity like that, man. Maybe politics, maybe something wild, you never know. But JJ said he want to get caught up on the Dallas Cowboys. Well, just to speed through this, Bobby Wagner did an interview. He said that Dan Quinn did try to bring him to the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys front office said no. So Dan Quinn did try to get Bobby Wagner in a blue and silver uniform with the star on his helmet, and it did not work out because the Dallas Cowboys front office is cheap as fuck. The Dallas Cowboys schedule was released. I said we'll win 14 games. They're still playing games with Dak Prescott's contract. CeeDee Lamb, they're still playing games with his contract. He has not yet showed up to voluntary workouts, which may or may not be a big thing. I mean, they are voluntary, so shit. He ain't missed nothing yet. You can't say somebody's holding out until they're not somewhere they're supposed to be. He ain't have to show up for this. So this is not technically a holdout. Right? So what else done happened? Dallas Cowboys draft was pretty solid. While they did not draft a lot of the players that I like, they did draft a bunch of athletic freaks. We got one of the most athletic tackles in Tyler Guyton. We got the most athletic defensive end. We got Cooper Beebe, who was a stud in the middle. We got a very athletic wide receiver in the later rounds. So yeah, so that's pretty much the spiel on what's been happening with the Dallas Cowboys, man. That's pretty much the spiel. Shout out to my guy Matt Leslie in the building with the Six Flames, man. Salute to you. Thank you for helping us practice manifestation. He said Schoonmaker. Nah, Schoonmaker's not in trouble anymore because they already got rid of Sean McKeon. Sean McKeon just signed with the Detroit Lions. So you got Jake Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Ford, and John Stephen Jr. There were already reports that Peyton Hendershot was going to be out the door last year had John Stephen Jr. not gotten hurt. So all those guys are going to make it. All those guys are going to make it. Peyton Hendershot is the odd man out. Peyton Hendershot is the odd man out. But my boy Numbhand Neil is in the building, man. What's up with you? He said, what up, Henny? Slapped up 28 Eagles fans before checking in, man. Salute to you. What's up with you, man? He's tax crazy. He said, hopefully we can get Mahomes when he's 41 years old so he can win us a Super Bowl like Brady did Tampa, sell our souls. The difference is when Tom Brady was super old, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers made sure he had a team around him. He had Mike Evans, he had Antonio Brown, he had Chris Godwin, he had Rob Gronkowski, he had a great defense, good running game. Dallas Cowboys too cheap to do that shit. They'll get a 41-year-old Patrick Mahomes and have him playing with 5th round picks. Like they too, man. They don't believe in that shit, man. They'll get Patrick Mahomes. They'll be the splash signing, and they will give him absolutely no weapons. We know these folks is crazy, man. We know these folks is crazy, man. He said 2 and 3 tight end sets are coming. Spanford can help guiding with Myles Garrett. I mean, I definitely believe you should not leave your rookie left tackle on an island against the reigning defensive player of the year, regardless of who the hell they is. But matter of fact, you should not leave any damn left tackle on an island with the reigning defensive player of the year. Like, give them a chip from a running back, give them a chip from a tight end, give them something. Give them something, outside of the bullshit. He says one and done. I don't believe so, man. I think the Dallas Cowboys have gotten better. It's not in the manner that I wanted them to get better, right? But they decided to try and improve their offensive line. I think they have gotten younger and more athletic, so I think it will pay dividends in the run game. And by the end of the season, I think they'll gel in pass pro. I think just by bringing in Mike Zimmer, you'll have a better run defense. He'll match personnel. He'll put more of an emphasis on playing linebackers and trying to clog the middle up. So I think just by default you'll have a better run defense. So I do think that you have an opportunity, and I think you'll be a better red zone offense with the addition of Ezekiel Elliott. Right? I think Zeke's gonna have 10 touchdowns at least. I think he'll have 10 touchdowns. I don't think he'll have a shit ton of yards. I think he'll have 500, 600 yards or some shit like that. Because I don't foresee him getting enough touches to do anything else. Because I think there'll be like 2 or 3 or 4 running backs playing. Right? I think it'll be a true running back committee. But he'll help us execute in the red zone. He'll get into the red zone. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully Zeke gives us a red zone threat to score touchdowns. Hopefully Mike Zimmer's defensive scheme helps us stop the run. And Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are going to ball. Right, Dak Prescott in the wide receiving core. Jake Ferguson, they'll ball. Second year in this offensive scheme, so they should show some growth and development in that regard anyway. So yeah, man, I think the Dallas Cowboys will be much better. They didn't do it the way I wanted them to. Like I wanted a first round wide receiver to put the wide receiving core over the top so we can say, hey, we can hang our hats on this. I wanted us to sign one of these running backs in free agency. We know they didn't do that, right? They didn't get Saquon. They didn't get Derrick Henry. They didn't do shit that I wanted them to do. But some of the things that they did do can pay dividends. And if they do pay dividends, your team will be better. If they don't, I'll be up here telling the Dallas Cowboys, I fucking told you to go with my plan. My plan would have worked. But, I'm going to be optimistic until that day comes. I'm going to be optimistic till that day comes. Yeah, offense was one-dimensional. And if we're being honest, your defense was one-dimensional too, Chris. Your defense was one-dimensional. Your offense was one-dimensional. Because your defense was only good at rushing the passer and getting turnovers. Your offense was only really legit at passing the ball around the yard. And why Dak Prescott led the NFL in passing touchdowns. So yeah, man. Said, hey. He said you can't do anything without protection. I know. It always starts up front, man. I get it. It starts up front. And I'm not mad at getting Cooper Beebe. He was one of my favorite players at the draft. I'm not mad at Tyler Guyton. Because the boy has been a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan. He's a hard worker. He has great athletic ability. So I think he'll grow into that role eventually, man. Especially with the kind of offensive lineman environment we have. Big Duke gonna get him right. He has all pros to learn from and mentor him. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about him. Did I want them to draft Nealon in the second round when we still had pass rushers? No. I think he'll eventually be a good pro, but I definitely would have took a wide receiver in the second round over Nealon. But that's just me. If Nealon works out, I ain't gonna have shit to say about it. You know what I mean? He said, I think BB will shock people more than other people. Man, that boy is a dog, man. That man is a dog. I don't want anybody to sleep on Cooper Beebe, man. Cooper Beebe might be your best damn me acquisition. He said, Carson, I like his skill set. I like the player. Did I agree that we needed Carson when you just drafted old buddy last year? Not necessarily, but it gives you depth. If it comes down to you not being able to keep the run bland because he's going to be up for a contract very soon, he could play a vital part in keeping your defensive back room afloat, right? Especially if he goes ahead and completely beats out Eric Scott. So I'm not opposed to getting better players. Like that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like they didn't do the things I wanted at first, so I pouted about the shit. But I also did enough research on the guys we drafted after we got them to know that most of these guys, have talent and can eventually succeed at the NFL level. You know what I mean? So all I want was a center. I mean, hey, you got it in Cooper. You got it in Cooper BB. Said Nacho Libre BB. We needed him to come out with a luchador mask. He said, after watching all of Mozzie's film from last year, I would say Mozzie is very fixable. His issue isn't what most people think. But listen, hey, Zim spoke on that. Zim said that he gonna have a role more closely resembling what he did at Michigan. So Mozzie's role will better suit him in Zim's system. Like Zim said that Mozzie should be better just because of that. Matter of fact, here it is right here. Since we're talking about it, I'm glad you brought it up because y'all be reminding me that I have these damn slides that I don't use all the damn time. Y'all gotta forgive me. I be wilding sometimes. But yeah, man. So Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer on defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Obviously, he was a high draft pick, and I heard that he kind of struggled a little bit last year. We're going to start with the basics. Get him in a good stance. Get him using his hands the right way. Getting his footwork the right way. And then kind of go from there. We anticipate that he's going to be a good player like he was in college. Right? So listen, I expect for him to be more of a traditional one tech. Uh, he lost weight. He tried to improve his pass rushing and all this other stuff that I didn't care about. You know what I mean? Just let him be him. Like let Mozzie Smith be Mozzie Smith, man. I don't need Mozzie Smith to be anybody else. The Mozzie Smith that we drafted out of Michigan and we're expecting is good enough for what we want. He's good enough for what we want. Yeah, he's back. He's back over 300 pounds. Yeah, I think Thomas was a steal too. And shit, quiet as kept. Terrence Steele, and I said this I said this earlier on a different show. Terrence Steele and Tyler Guyton both will be tested this year. The Dallas Cowboys played 5 of last year's top 10 pass rushers, and they also play 12 of the top 25 pass rushers from last year in terms of sacks. So they're both are going to be tested and pushed to the extremes. But the difference in Tyler Guyton and the difference between Terrence Steele is Tyler Guyton, anything that he goes through is going to be looked at as a learning experience. If he struggles, they're going to expect him to play better next year. If he's excelling, it's wonderful, hit the ground running. They're going to feel good about that pick. If Terrence Steele struggles in pass pro after struggling last year in pass pro, he might be on the way out. And they have an out in his contract, not this year, not next year, but the 2026 season. They have an out in his contract. So, hey, he might not be the long-term future at right tackle like they initially thought he would be. Like he could be on the way out sooner than later. Yeah, Gooden, Tyler Gooden. Shout out to my brother West Coast too, man. Know my boy Wild, man. That's my boy though. That's my boy. He said Dallas hit the lottery in the O line this draft. They came off big. I definitely like both of their offensive line picks. I wasn't enthused about Tyler Guyton at first, but like I said, man, it's better to educate yourself on something and see if you're correct on it than just to hold on to to a narrative that you built into your mind. But yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in with your boy, man. I think we had a good show. I see my brother Boss is live. I'm gonna have to tap in and check out his broadcast. So everybody in the liquor store, we finna shut it down. Meet over there in Boss Chat. Let him know it's a liquor store raid, man. Show my brother some love. Support the content. He always be dropping some fire content and information for y'all to consume. We'll be back sometime tomorrow, though, man. So I appreciate y'all for everything. I'm gonna go back and listen to the broadcast to see how the audio sounding. Matter of fact, on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the audio for this show, man? I know it wasn't perfect, but let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 what the audio was in this show for me, real quick, before we get out of here. One being awful as hell, 10 being perfect, and all the other stuff. But let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 what the audio was sounding like this show. We're trying to improve the audio as best as humanly possible so we can continue to have quality content. All right, Cowboys vet said a 7.5. It's actually better than I expected then. Any more feedback? My boy said a 7. Now I think that's better than what the hell I had going on. I think the other sound quality was maybe a 3. All right, Cuz said a 6. Devolia said a 10. Big Benny Rich said a 7. So it's passable. All right, so C's get degrees. Okay, so we're Gucci. Dunny, what's up with you, man? Appreciate you tapping in and showing love, my brother. I appreciate you, man. Long time no see. But yeah, man, I need everybody to tap in over there. He said it's cool. He said it's way better than before. Okay. As long as it's way better than what we had going on, man. As long as it's better than that other setup. Because I had it rigged up. I was using this laptop, running the show from my phone, talking through a plugged in microphone earpiece, and then controlling like the graphics from the laptop. So I'm straight on the laptop right now. So that's good because it's a lot less work that I have to do to have an even kill show and picture. So yeah, but hey, everybody slide over there. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. So yeah, man, everybody slide over there to Boss Platform. Let them know it's a liquor store raid, man. Show some love. Tap in with my guy. On the way out, hit the like button, hit the share button, slap an Eagles fan upside the head, and hit that cash app or that super chat for an opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, man. And matter of fact, to make it fair, we're gonna run it to July the 1st. Just to give everybody opportunity to get raffle entries back in, so on and so forth. You know, because we had an entire month where a lot of people didn't get an opportunity since I wasn't doing shows due to my illness. So we're running till July the 1st. If you want to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, send $5 to the super chat or to the Cash App. But thank y'all for the love, the support, and your boys out, man. I'm gonna get at y'all.